The path is the practice, a Zen story on letting go of the destination. In a quiet valley wrapped in the embrace of gentle hills, there lived a boy named Koji. From the moment he could speak, Koji had been filled with questions. Not the kind that sought easy answers, but the kind that pulled at the soul. Why are we here? What is happiness? How can one find true peace? The villagers often smiled at his questions, calling him thoughtful, even strange. But Koji didn't mind. Deep inside, he knew that his longing was sincere. And so, when he heard of a Zen master who lived atop the highest hill near the village, a man said to hold deep wisdom about life, Koji felt something stir inside him. He knew he had to go. One morning, with the mist still clinging to the earth and birds just beginning their gentle songs, Koji set off on the path. The climb was long and at times lonely. Stones pressed into his feet. The sun grew harsh, but Koji walked with determination, a quiet fire in his chest. By afternoon, he reached a humble hut nestled among clouds and trees. There, sitting cross-legged on a mat outside, was the Zen master, a slender old man with eyes that sparkled like still water. The air around him felt silent, even though the breeze rustled leaves and birds sang nearby. Koji bowed deeply. "Master," he asked with reverence, "how long will it take me to find Zen?" The master looked at him, smiling softly, and replied, 10 years. Koji blinked. That was longer than he had imagined. But what if I work really hard? What if I practice every day, study with full focus? The master paused, then said, "Then it will take 20 years. Confused, Koji tried again. What if I give everything? No distractions, no doubts, just complete devotion. Then how long? The master's eyes twinkled and he answered, 30 years. Koji felt his heart drop. I don't understand. The more effort I promise to give, the longer it will take? The old man nodded. Yes, because when one eye is fixed on the destination, only one eye is left for the path. Koji stood silently. The answer was simple, yet he could not quite grasp it. Sensing this, the master motioned for him to sit beside him under the large pine tree that shaded the hut. The breeze moved gently through the branches, and the silence between them stretched, not heavy, but open. Then the master spoke again. Imagine a tree, he said. High above it, there hangs a sweet, ripe fruit. You wish to climb the tree and taste it. But if, as you climb, you keep staring at the fruit, thinking of how sweet it will be, you may lose your balance, your hands may slip, you may fall. He turned to Koji and placed a wrinkled hand on the earth. But if you focus instead on your grip, on where your feet are placed, on how the bark feels, how the wind moves, you will climb not only safely but fully awake. The fruit will come, but even before it does, the climb itself will have transformed you. Koji listened, and something within him slowly opened. For so long, he had imagined Zen as a point to be reached, a finish line, a prize waiting at the end of the road. He thought that by hurrying, striving harder, he could get there faster. But now, he realized, that very grasping had become the wall between him and what he sought. That day, Koji did not ask further questions. He stayed by the master for a while, watching the sky change colors. Then, he descended the mountain, not with a fire to conquer Zen, but with a quiet curiosity to feel each step of his own path. Back in the village, Koji changed. He no longer rushed through his studies or became anxious about how much he had progressed. Instead, he began to observe. He noticed how the morning light fell on the river. He felt the grain of wood as he helped his father repair a fence. When he sat to meditate, he no longer waited for a breakthrough. He simply breathed and allowed that to be enough. Months passed, and then years, and something happened. not suddenly but gently, like dew collecting on a leaf. Koji began to feel a stillness inside him, a peace that did not depend on whether he succeeded or failed, a joy in the doing, not in the having done. And one day, as he sat alone beneath a tree, much like the master once had, he realized he was no longer seeking Zen. He was living it. In the end, it was not the answers to his questions that brought him wisdom. It was the way he began to walk, to live, to notice. The path itself had become the practice, and through that practice, the fruit had ripened on its own. Most people in life walk with their eyes fixed on the peak, on goals, rewards, recognition. But in doing so, they miss the sound of their own footsteps. They forget the feel of the ground beneath them, the scent of the wind, the beauty of their becoming. The Zen Master's teaching is not just for Koji. It is for all of us, to remind us that presence is more powerful than pursuit, and that living each moment fully is the real achievement. So next time you climb toward a dream, a project, a healing, ask yourself gently, am I staring at the fruit, or am I embracing the tree? The path is not a means to an end. The path is the end. And in walking it well, we become what we were always meant to be.